What up, everyone? It's the Nation of Podcation Daily Podcast. I'm O'Shea. Make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button. Hip-hop superstar, icon, and legend Juvenile talks about the Verzuz from 3 weeks ago with No Limit versus Cash Money Records. Now, as we all know, that was one of the biggest moments in hip-hop. We got to see Birdman and Master P on stage together, and they shook up. We got No Limit and Cash Money on stage together. We had a small Hot Boys reunion because you had BG and Juvenile out there. You had Birdman going to Turk, Lil Wayne no show, Snoop Dogg showed up for No Limit, Mia X stole the show for No Limit. It was an event in itself. So shout out to Cash Money and No Limit for putting all the differences aside and making that thing happen. Let's take a look at this clip from Juvenile as he explained.
Mississippi, Alabama, okay. Georgia.
But it had not got to the East Coast. It had not really got.
Yeah, it was just in our area.
Okay, so how was that? How was that? Was that beneficial?
Well, Cash Money, I got to give them credit. Before I got on Cash Money, they already had they had success with groups before me, so they had built up a fan base already. But when I came in, me and BG, you know what we did together, and Wayne, we created this huge fan base, and this before the group, before we became the Hot Boys group. We was just all really rapping on BG's album. BG was the first one. When I came in, he was the guy. Right.
He was first out the gate.
He was the first one out the gate. A couple albums before I even got one in.
Right.
So and they had this big fan base, so it was kind of like easy to walk into with them. But when they put us together, we just blew up a little bit and it got bigger.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So what would have been one state winded up being 5-6 states.
But your record was the one that ultimately helped get the deal.
Once I did my first album called Solja Rag, the song Solja Rag itself blew up.
So it wasn't Huh? By itself?
It wasn't Huh. Huh was really a remake, kind of like a remake of Solja Rags.
Okay.
But it was Solja Rags that got us that deal.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh, God, let's make some noise for that goddamn. So I'm gonna just tell you, at one point it was like.
Well, let me correct that. Played a part in getting us that deal.
Okay.
I'm gonna correct that because not just that album, it was the Big Timers that dropped 2 albums too. They had a lot to do with that too. So it wasn't just me. And I'm gonna state this: when we recorded those songs, when we were in the studio, we didn't know what songs was going to what album. It's just that I was next up, so they took the best songs and put on my album.
Y'all were just recording and it would go wherever.
Exactly. So we didn't know what was going, and which I liked it. I really liked it. I kind of liked that.
Right.
I liked it.
Crazy times.
Yeah. That way I get all the hits.
I ain't gonna lie to you. Listen, at one point you had the Death Row run, you had the Rough Riders run, you had the Rockefeller run, but nothing seemed like the Cash Money run. How was that? And how old were you?
I think the fact that we was listening to them, because we was really listening to when they had their run, we was big fans of them.
Okay.
And I think the fact that the South was kind of like an untapped. We had other people doing anything, but it was just like we had so much more to offer that people hadn't yet heard yet. And I think that made it easier for us to also. But P kicked down the doors for everybody down our way.
All right, Nation, there you have it. Hey, Juvenile kept it real. Hey, he knows deep down in here that they lost that battle. You know what I'm saying? That's why they want to do it again. It's just like being on the court, you know what I'm saying, when you playing 5-on-5 at the YMCA or street bar or whatever, and then folks want to be like, after they lose, run them back. Nah, bro. Y'all lost that battle. Now, I do understand what he's saying. If all artists had been there, if they would have had Turk and Wayne on their side, and if Mystical and C Murder was available to be on the other side, then it might have been a different story. Me personally, I think if Wayne was just there, that would have changed the whole dynamic. But if you had Wayne and Hot Boy Turk there, that gives us the whole Hot Boys all together, unified, you know what I'm saying? So I think it would have been hard for No Limit to beat that, just because the history of the Hot Boys, they were the best group out of all of them. You know what I'm saying? So I'm talking about out of the TRUs of the world, your 504 boys, your Big Timers, the Hot Boys was the best group out of all of that. You feel me? And I know that first TRU album, True to the Game, that was special, but the Hot Boys have a couple special albums, and then just the way that they moved, the way that they rocked together back then, hey, they were a movement. So I think things would have been differently if you would have had Wayne and Turk there. Just seeing seeing the energy from the Louisiana Fest when they was all on stage together. Those 3 shows that they did do where everybody was together, the energy was different. The vibe was different. Everybody was, you know, it was just a whole different spirit for Cash Money versus, you know, the way that they looked in that Verzuz against No Limit. Crazy, crazy work. Nation, what do you think about Juvenile's comments? What do you think about the Verzuz? Who do you think won the Verzuz? Let me know in the comments section down below. Make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button on your way out. Hey.